So Manchester United, I told you, no Alexander Isak because he's too expensive, but Man United in the recent hours had a direct contact with Aston Villa. So there was a club-to-club conversation. Man United asked about the situation of Ollie Watkins. The answer from Aston Villa is that they want to keep the player, so Aston Villa don't want to negotiate. It has to be a very good proposal to change the story. But Aston Villa, as of today, insists on their intention to keep Ollie Watkins and not to negotiate. So let's see if Man United will decide to go big for him and try to tempt Aston Villa and to tempt the player, or if Man United will move on different targets. But Ollie Watkins remains one of the names on the list, and Man United made contact for Aston Villa to be informed on the situation. And then Man United also asked to Aston Villa the opportunity to sign Martínez and Dibu as a goalkeeper on loan deal. Aston Villa said no chance. So Aston Villa have no intention to let Martínez go on loan. That was very clear after the meeting. It's also important to say that Man United still have to decide whether they want to go for an experienced goalkeeper like Dibu Martínez, also with Dibu being very keen on a move to Man United, as I told you, or if they want to go for a young goalkeeper. And in that case, Lammens from Royal Antwerp remains the name. A player really appreciated by Man United, scouted for a long time, with the player also keen on a move. So that remains the way. Young goalkeeper, old goalkeeper, experienced, because old is not a nice word for one of the best in the world, if not the best, like Dibu Martínez. So for sure, Manchester United are working on the goalkeeper. And remember the priorities. This meeting with Aston Villa is confirming to us the two priorities: the striker and the goalkeeper. At the moment, no green light on loan for Martínez, no green light for Ollie Watkins, with Villa intention to keep him, but to show how Man United are working on these two possibilities, on these two positions. Newcastle are going big, or at least are trying to go big, for Benjamin Sesko. Newcastle are on it. Newcastle, from what I understand, I can add this detail tonight, are prepared to make a proposal to the player and to present their project to the player. Newcastle really want to try to bring Benjamin Sesko. That will be massive. It's not easy because, as I mentioned in the previous video, there is this kind of gentleman agreement between Sesko and Leipzig. He can leave the club for a special club, and the special word is decided by Sesko. So only if Sesko goes to Leipzig and says, okay, for me this club could be okay, in that case the price tag can be 70-80 million euros range plus 5-10 million euros add-ons. Something around that, as a gentleman agreement with Leipzig. Newcastle are informed about that, and Newcastle now want to speak to those close to the player and present their project. So Newcastle are going big on Sesko. Why? Because they know Alexander Isak is pushing to leave the club this summer. Liverpool are there, guys. Liverpool are the club working on a deal for Alexander Isak. So Liverpool are on it. Liverpool spoke several times with those close to the player. Liverpool remain interested even after signing Hugo Ekitike. So Liverpool are on it for Alexander Isak. Then, as I mentioned today, it's going to be important to clarify the Luis Diaz situation as soon as possible. It's not only a technical point, it's also a financial point. To raise some money and then can reinvest also on Alexander Isak. But Liverpool are ready. Liverpool want to go big. Liverpool believe that if Newcastle will open the doors to this opportunity, they can be ready to really try to sign Alexander Isak. As I mentioned today, I'm not aware of Al Hilal pushing in this moment. From what I heard, it's not something really concrete now. In case it will become, I will let you know. But as of today, I have to inform you on what I know, and what I know is that at the moment it's not something concrete. And also important to say that for Alexander Isak, Man United are not part of the conversations. Man United want to sign a top striker, but Isak is too expensive, so Man United are not working on this deal. And also Chelsea, there was some rumor today after the story of Alexander Isak exploring a move away from Newcastle. No, Chelsea are not part of the conversation, not interested. They are very happy with the strikers they sign and the strikers they have, so they are not working on a deal to sign Alexander Isak. They wanted him 1 year ago. 1 year ago was a possibility for Chelsea to try. Now is not the case.
Well, if Isak does leave, Newcastle are interested in signing the RB Leipzig striker, Benjamin Sesko. Now, they've explored the conditions of a deal for the 22-year-old, and it's our understanding that Sesko's camp turned down a proposal from a Saudi Pro League club this week.
Fresh contact over Aston Villa for Ollie Watkins. They've identified Watkins as a target in their search for a new number 9, but any move is likely to depend on selling players first. Højlund potentially could be on his way out. Villa reportedly value him at around 60 million, and he scored 16 goals in 38 games last season. I know this is a sore subject for you, Mr. Gbonloho.
Not at all,
but
mate.
It's a real subject as well. This is a real thing.
Of course, but I've already seen on social media Aston Villa says No.
What does that mean? Newcastle said no.
Yeah, but I'll just look at this deal and what Aston Villa would value him at. He's 13 December. And I don't think Manchester United are going to want to pay what Aston Villa are asking.
Which is what, 60?
60.
Yeah.
Like, and then maybe we have a chat. But I also look at that from an Aston Villa point of view and like, yes, PSR and all these things that you have to think about now with players. But Watkins, who are you going to replace him with?
Villa.
That's what I'm saying.
Mateta,
no,
potentially.
Not as good as Watkins. Mateta, very good player. You want to add him? Aston Villa have lost.
Goals than Watkins last season.
Aston Villa have lost.
Manchester United are actively pursuing a striker revamp this summer, with key targets including Ollie Watkins from Aston Villa and goalkeeper Emiliano Martínez, though recent attempts to get Martínez on loan reportedly failed. United have held initial talks with Villa over Watkins, but the club insists he is not for sale, valuing him around £60 million. Watkins remains a priority as United seek a proven goalscorer following underwhelming returns from their previous forwards. Meanwhile, RB Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko is also an important target for Manchester United, with the club showing serious interest. Another striker linked to United in recent talks is Alexander Isak, although he is currently committed to Newcastle and appears less likely as an immediate option.